Hey guys, it's Lydia sitting in my backyard. It's a beautiful sunny day. I just got home from a luncheon of a nonprofit. My friend Kim invited me to a luncheon that taught us about a nonprofit called Entryway. And I was so moved by the work that they're doing that I asked if I could talk about their um, interview, their executive director, on another podcast that I have, where I highlight individuals who are using their time and talent to make the world a better place. And I think that nonprofit totally, and actually, I got the idea that all nonprofits who are doing good in the world need to be highlighted. So I'm going to be reaching out to some various nonprofits to see if they want to talk about what they do out there in the world. So anyway, I'm sitting outside on my nice lawn chair. It bounces. And I just wanted to talk about this book that I'm reading. It's It's about castor oil and the healing power of castor oil. I'm going to just read the back of this, okay? It says, The Oil That Heals, A Physician's Successes with Castor Oil Treatments, William A. McGarry, MD. A fascinating analysis of a medical doctor's research on and verification of the healing properties of castor oil packs, first recommended by the noted psychic Edgar Cayce as an adjunct for many ailments that resist traditional medical treatment. Dr. McGarry reviews the history of castor oil and its use throughout the centuries, chronicles the research done at the ARE clinic under a foundation grant, and details case histories in which he employed castor oil packs as a healing agent with remarkable successful results. This book is part of the breakthrough efforts to recognize alternative medicine in an inexpensive yet effective solution for people who are unhappy with the high cost of traditional medical treatment. The oil that heals. Doesn't that sound good? Looks like I paid $16.95 for this book on Amazon. If you want, I'll link to it in this below. Oops, later on. Oh, hope I'm not breaking my chair. Anyway, I'm on chapter 4, healing as an awakening into consciousness. So this book is, for me, it's exciting. So here's a chapter 7, why castor oil. So I've been putting castor oil in my belly button at night because this is what I've been told. Your the belly button is the navel, the umbilical cord that was connected to your mother where you grew from. And so there's all these veins and pathways to other organs in your body that like originate from the belly button area that, you got cut off from the mother. So you still have those freeways, so to speak, to the organs, but they're all at the beginning of that freeway system from the outside in is your belly button. So it kind of made sense to me why putting castor oil in your belly button would make a whole lot of sense to get the healing agent of the oil into the freeway system of the belly button and the navel. So I'm going to read, there's a list here. I haven't read it before. I'm going to read it with y'all for the first time, but I think I'm going to go ahead and read the paragraph before. Okay, so they're talking about Edgar Cayce. Edgar Cayce described at least 30 different physiological functions that were changed for the better through the use of castor oil applied topically, mostly by the use of the packs. Here's a partial list. In Cayce's unique language and based on his understanding of the internal workings of the body, increases eliminations, the digestive system, going to the bathroom, Stimulates the liver. You know, if you have a fatty liver or a dirty liver, they say it's hard to lose weight. So I'm trying to clean out my liver. Dissolves and removes adhesions, dissolves and removes lesions, relieves pain, releases colon impaction, reduces nervous system, stimulates the gallbladder, incorporates reducing toxemia, reduces fat flagellants, increases the lymphatic circulation. So you know how I'm doing my rebounding? The castor oil is just I mean, that's something I do at night. And so it's something that's actually just supporting the lymphatic workouts that I'm doing in the morning. Improves intestinal assimilation, being able to assimilate the nutrition that you do eat. Balances eliminations, reduces inflammation, increases relaxation, dissolves lacteal duct adhesions, reduces nausea, dissolves gallstones, stimulates lacteal duct circulation, reduces swelling, stimulates the caseum, coordinates liver kidney function, stimulates organs and glands. Based on the above list, it is understandable that castor oil packs were advocated in the readings as therapy for people who had been diagnosed with a variety of bodily conditions: aphonia, appendicitis, arthritis, cancer, cholecystitis, cholestaglia, colitis, constipation, epilepsy, gallstones, gastritis. It's interesting. Anything, by the way, that has the ending itis, like arthritis, tendonitis, it's all inflammation. Okay, so any of these words that you hear, like colitis, it's inflammation of the colon. Epilepsy, gallstones, gastritis, migraines, hepatitis, hernia, Hodgkin's disease, hookworm, intestinal impaction, sluggish liver, stenosis of the duodenum, stricture of the duodenum, strangulation of the kidneys, neuritis, cirrhosis of the liver, multiple sclerosis, lymphitis, cerebral palsy, pelvic cellulitis, uremia, sterility, ringworm, Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease, interesting. This list does not include a multiple of cases indexed in the ARE Library of Virginia Beach as lesions, incoordinations, intestines, toxemia, eliminations, and adhesions. The oil that heals, of course, is that which is extracted from the seed of the Ricinus communis, known as, I mentioned before, as the Palma Christi, or more commonly as the castor oil plant. This is what Edgar Cayce recommended for use so very, very frequently in the form of a pack. It is probable that Cleopatra used castor oil as a base for her makeup and to make even more lovely her eyes, just as this particular oil is found commonly in lipstick and makeup today, presumably because of its stable and soothing characteristics. Castor oil was described as being used as eye drops to protect the eyes from irritation. So we perhaps the beginning of the recorded use of this unusual oil as therapy in ancient Egypt, a land shrouded in many mysteries. Over the centuries, the value of castor oil continued to be recognized, sometimes in new ways, but the real nature of its actions, as described in the Cayce readings, remained an enigma. An exhaustive search of medical literature going back 49 years produced few but fascinating references. So that's okay. So the book I'm reading is The Oil That Heals: A Physician's Successes with castor oil treatment. So I've been doing castor oil probably about 30 to 40 days now. And I didn't have anything like that I knew of that was wrong with me. I just like to do natural things to keep me healthy. And since I learned about this, I figured, I need to clean out my liver. So it's talking about right here. I just passed a page that said the liver and gallbladder. I can read, okay, infection after injury. So let's talk about hyperactivity. Anybody who suffers from hyperactivity, much has been written about the affliction, which also has the name or associated with what is called dyslexia, an impairment of the ability to read. One lesson I've learned over the years is to look at the deeper causation of problems rather than the end product of a process. The development of physiological abnormalities is the process. On the causation side of this process are those factors that create the abnormalities. On the resultant side of the same process is the manifestation, which is termed a disease or a syndrome. Everything in the human body is changing for the better or for the worse as life continues, and we are always creating at the level of the mind and the emotions. This creative activity impacts the physiology for better or for worse. In this instance, hyperactivity was the end product. The deeper problem must lie somewhere in the relationship among the activity of the mind, the emotional nature, and the neurological impulses which either bring information consciousness, into our consciousness, or cause the body to act. This places the cause then directly inside the nervous system. It's truly interesting to let the creative part of yourself loose and consider that the same application which helps a man stop snoring because a cooperative instead of an antagonistic individual might also have a beneficial effect of hyperactivity. Both conditions lie in the realm of autonomic nervous system. This kind of speculation does not currently reside in the scientific field, but it might indeed have a reality if we acknowledge that most of nature and human cannot be quantified, but has its ultimate meaning in a spiritual realm about which we know very little. I recall a woman in her late 50s who reported to me that the castor oil pack which she had put on the very first time was the best tranquilizer she had ever used. Others have told me that it helps them sleep, it relaxes them, it soothes them. One might say it helps to normalize the body when applied over the abdomen. I lost my place. Where was I? Over the abdomen, where the solar plexus is to be found. The largest accumulations of autonomic nerve cells in the lower part of the body. That's what I was talking about when I was talking about the belly button and how it's the pathway to so many other organs. It was in the 1960s that we had our first real encounter with severe hyperactivity. Tommy's mother told about his lifelong problem while she picked up torn magazines that Tommy had worked over, pushed drawers back into place in the examining room, pulled Tommy from the tops of the furniture time and again, trying to restore order where he was creating chaos. He was everywhere and could not be quieted down. He was in the office, mild belly ache. Hyperactivity was a daily occurrence to which his mother had adapted. Mother was instructed to use castor oil packs for the abdominal problem and to bring Tommy back if he was not doing well. The next visit, 3 weeks later, was a revolution. Tommy was quiet, sat on a chair reading a book, turning the pages without tearing them out, answering questions. Average kid. What was happening every evening, his mother placed castor oil pack on Tommy's abdomen while he was watching television. She didn't like having him watch television, but she knew he would stay quiet. In a few days, he started reminding his mother to put the pack on because it felt so good. Her life had changed. Tommy was no longer a threat to the sanity of his parents, nor to the furniture, walls, or glassware. He was a normal 5-year-old boy getting ready for school. Ever since that experience, we have been treating hyperactivity with a good diet and castor oil packs, not with medication. Tommy grew up, got married, and now brings his kids in for checkups occasionally. There is no hyperactivity now in that family. Can you imagine, having an oil that can heal, major problems? So there's about a page about the liver and the gallbladder. I'm going to read that, and that's going to complete today's reading. Okay, so part of my awareness of the healing qualities of substances offered us by Mother Nature came about as I watched one kind of disturbance of the body after another respond to the application of a castor oil pack. We first used the pack on hepatitis because of the frequency with which Casey in his readings requested that they would be beneficial. Gallbladder conditions received much of the same sort of attention in the readings. Consistently through the 30 years I have worked with the Casey information, I use a castor oil pack for liver and gallbladder conditions has remained our standard. Rarely, if ever, have they failed to perform advantageously. A nursing student recognizing the onset of hepatitis took a week off, loaded up with water, and wore a castor oil pack continuously. She also had people pray for her. The following Monday, she returned to school with no sign of yellowish tint to her skin or conjunctive of the eyes. The diagnosis had been confirmed early in the course of her illness, so there was no question about its validity. She would have she would not have been able to continue in her training if she had missed more school than she did. In 1978, we began a residential 17-day Temple Beautiful program fashioned to an extent after the ancient temple. Beautiful described in the Edgar Casey's readings. Later on, it began an 11-day event providing patients with a healing experience, linking together the body, mind, and spirit portions of the human being. Joel Buchanan, a patient of ours who earlier had been through one of these programs, called me from Texas for some advice. He wanted to keep his liver in good shape. Early in 1987, he developed type B hepatitis, which he treated at home with castor oil packs. He was seeing his internist, but didn't tell him what he was doing because he felt the packs would be discredited by the doctor. He had, however, a rapid recovery, and his internist kept saying that his return to health was miraculous considering his 66 years and the severity of his case. I told him that the same therapy that helped his liver back to health would help it maintain its health, so he continued using the packs periodically. A correspondent, Richard Garcia, called me more than 2 years ago about the gallstones that had been rediscovered in his gallbladder. He had been doing a 3-day apple diet and took olive oil by mouth on the 3rd day. This diet he had continued intermittently for many years, but he was still having episodes of pain and discomfort. He knew about castor oil packs but had not used them. He was discouraged. I told him the surgery was always an alternative. His letter came quite recently, letting me know that he had gone ahead and scheduled himself to see the surgeon. But when I met with the surgeon, he told me that there was a nerve that ran close by the gallbladder that they couldn't avoid cutting. That really turned me off. So I got really serious and started a 3-month, 5 days on, 3 days off series of castor oil packs. On the 5th evening after each series, I drank a half a cup of olive oil. The treatment did wonders for me, and I had no reoccurrences. Decided on half a cup of olive oil on his own. Casey, as far as I know, never recommended that much oil in one dose. More commonly, it was a tablespoon. A half a cup. Wow. Garcia did not tell me whether he had passed the stones or if he had taken another x-ray of his gallbladder, but his pain and discomfort no longer gave him trouble, and he continued occasionally to use a 3-day series of packs to help balance his body. So that's my reading for the day. Actually, I wasn't planning on reading the book, but I just did it on a whim. I put chia seeds in the bottom of my drink. They look funny. They don't look gelatinous. That's weird. Oh, I wonder if it has to do with this drink. Ooh, that's interesting. That's so weird. When I put it in another drink, it gets gelatinous. I'm gonna have to research that. Y'all are seeing it here live. This is, when you pay attention to life, life communicates to you. I'm gonna pour this in my plant. Very interesting, actually. So, just wanted to follow up. It's the afternoon. What time is it? It's 3, and I did my rebounding this morning at, I think it was 9 o'clock in the morning, and, I feel strong. My legs feel stronger, so that's, like, something different that I don't necessarily get from walking. Um, it feels like a rapid building up of the muscles and the fibers. And I keep, today's like day 6 of consistent rebounding. So I'm just going to keep it going. I have a friend coming to stay on next week. So I hope to stay rebounding and getting that in and not letting having a guest, you know, change my behavior. I'm hoping to um, do more of the same thing and keep my routine going, not letting having a guest get me off my routine. So I just wanted to check in and tell you that I'm excited about what I'm learning about castor oil. And like I said, I'm going to put this book in my link below when I put this up on my from my laptop. It's hard to do the links like this on my phone. So I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you have a wonderful afternoon, and we'll talk to you soon. All right. Please comment below or subscribe and follow the journey to hear more about all the natural health ways of being healthy and getting healthy and using plants and herbs and ancient oils that have been around for millennia to heal the body. So again, the oil that heals is the book I was talking about and reading about, and we'll put a link in the description below. All right, y'all have a good evening. Talk to you later. Bye.